Okay, so we disassembled the top half of the machine. I have another pump here to show you how to take that apart. This busboy container is nice. It fits most of the parts that are in here. Easier to transport back and forth to the sink and kind of contain the mess in here. So we'll take a look first at the head, at our head. Now, depending on the style that you have, you may have a recess here where this head bushing goes into. This one with the RMT design, it's nice and flat, okay? But you can see we have lubricant on the outside. Now, before this goes into the sink for cleaning, we want to make sure we wipe off the old grease and all the lubricant. So this way, when it goes in there, we don't have grease and lubricant all over the inside of the sink. It's a mess, it's everywhere, it's on your arms, it's on your elbows. How did it get there? We don't know, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take these apart, and we're gonna wipe off the old grease. So we're gonna take our air bleed plugs out, wipe off the old grease. Same thing here. We're going to open up our handles. Now you'll also notice these handles go straight out. This is for ADA compliance, so that somebody in a wheelchair can kind of reach it and use them. Now we want to get these out of the way. How do we do that? We just push this part out. Straight down. We can go ahead and lift our handles out of the way. And we can take our plungers out. So the same thing, we're going to take this out. We're going to wipe off our old lubricant as best we can. Again, more work here, less work everywhere else. Wipe off our old grease. Get a new towel. Same thing. Wipe off all of our grease. Okay. With the head as well. Get those O-rings. Okay. Now we'll go to our beater shaft. Okay, very important, our shaft seal. This comes off, believe it or not. Sometimes people don't want to take them off. This comes off. If we don't take this off and we don't lubricate here, what's going to happen is this is going to start to eat away at the end of the beater shaft and create a groove. No matter what shaft seal you put on here, it's going to leak because we've eaten away at the end of this, and you're going to have to get a new one of these, and that's not a cheap date. So we want to make sure that we're maintaining our shaft seal. Now there's an O-ring on the inside here, and there's lubricant. Shaft seal goes towards the back, and this works with the front of the machine to make sure that there's no leaking or anything out of the front of the machine. We'll go over that when we put it back together. Okay, but very important that we're maintaining our shaft seal. Before it goes into our bucket, we'll wipe off that grease. Back in. We'll take another one here. We're going to wipe off the end of the beater shaft because there's some lubricant in there and a little bit towards the back. And we would do the same thing for our other beater shaft. We do the same thing for the shaft seal. Disassemble everything, take it to the sink. Okay, now we have our pump or our hose. This is very simple. There's a couple clamps that keep it all together. We can take these off. Loosen these. Loosen these. Our air hose pulls straight off. Our air meter comes out into our bucket. Red line hose pulls off. This piece comes off as well. There's a little clip. We'll open up that clip and we'll pull this off, okay? And we'll finish taking this apart with our clamps. Okay, now our hose. We can see a little bit of wear in here, some discoloration, but not too bad. This is pretty rigid, this is pretty firm. We changed these not too long ago. You should get a month out of these. High volume stores, you may want to check them a little sooner than that. Okay? But very important that we're changing this once a month, because as this continues to wear and wear, it will burst and you'll get mix all over the inside of your machine. You won't be very happy. So we got to make sure that we're keeping an eye on this. When we're changing this once a month, it's a good idea to rotate our blades. Now we have two different positions here. You can't make a mistake. It can go on either way. They just can't go on this way. We'll see that when we put it back together. And it's a good rule of thumb every month when we're changing our hose to rotate our blades. Because when this is in the machine and it's rotating clockwise, it's only scraping on one side. So we have an even looking circle and we'll call it an odd looking circle. Okay, nice and smooth. We know this is an oval, I'll call it an odd circle. So for the number of the month, we want to put that corresponding dot towards the back. So we're in November now when we're filming. So we're going to put the odd looking circle towards the back. Okay, next month when we change our hose and we rotate our blades, we're in December 12, we put the even looking circle towards the back. We'll go over that when we reassemble. Okay. In terms of O-rings, when should we change our O-rings? What should we look out for? It's a wearable part. There's no exact science. It depends on the volume of the machine. But every month it's a good idea to take off your O-rings. Okay, so when we're ready to change our O-rings, we have an O-ring tool. Okay, has a little hook on it. We're going to put it right into that crevice and just pull them straight off. Same thing here, right into there, pull it off. Same thing with the head. We can pull that off as well. Very easy if we need to change them. Okay, now we'll know when we put the machine back together if there's any leaking coming from the head, either up by the plungers or at the bottom. It's probably the end of the lifespan for those O-rings, so the next time we clean, we'll have to change them. Okay, so we have everything disassembled here. We're ready to take it to the sink. We'll come back, we'll lubricate everything, and we'll put it back together. So also some good cleaning brushes that we have, two different sizes here. You can use these for cleaning out the head. We can go into here. We can also go into here, okay, into any of these spots. With the smaller end, we can go into here, okay, here and here. Also around the head if we need to. Anywhere that you see any leftover products, again, the best way to clean something is with a scrubbing, a brushing motion. So let's try to utilize these when we can.